Hi, everyone. Good to see so many new faces, but also a lot of familiar faces. So great to have you. I'm going to talk a bit about making everyday AI a reality in the age of Gen AI. So, to be honest, most of the talk won't be on Gen AI. There will be another talk on Gen AI. So, just to make sure that I'm not promising anything I can't hold. So, while Gen AI is certainly something very exciting, I would like to bring us down to some fundamentals, basically. Even in the age, or maybe especially in the age of Gen AI, focusing on these fundamentals is key in making everyday AI a reality. And I brought with me some client examples to illustrate exactly that. By the way, all the client examples are contenders of our very own Frontrunner Award. When we at Dataiku talk about everyday AI, what we mean really is embedding everyday AI, embedding analytics into our everyday lives, making it a fabric of our everyday lives. So it's not specifically miraculous, it's not mysterious, it's just how you get things done. It's basically like electricity, we heard it before, or the phone in your pocket. It's just another commoditized technology. And as you may know, the ones who have paid close attention to our marketing, to our way we convey Dataiku, we have three pillars underpinning everyday AI. First of all, it's democratization, it's acceleration, and it's trust. So I want to go a level deeper and see what this actually stands for and how Dataiku enables this. Let's start with democratization. So democratizing data science doesn't mean that a dumbed down interface or the promise of full optimization just by one click. This is not what we mean. Democratization for us means inclusion. It's basically meeting people where they are. It's about giving them access to data, analytics, and AI, regardless of their role, regardless of where they are in the enterprise, and regardless of their skill set. So they can make better and faster decisions. You might wonder why democratization is even relevant, right? Think of the long tail of use case potential. Does all that use case potential really needs to be 100% enabled and created and realized by data experts, by data scientists or data engineers? Is this even possible? Well, in fact, when we speak with chief data officers, if we speak with data experts, they actually estimate that there are 20x more non-data experts than there are data experts. And not only are there many more, they are also much closer to the business process. They understand the impact of analytics, AI, and data on their processes, how to rethink processes. And finally, for them, usually the numbers often add up much better. They know how to build a business case around creating or leveraging analytics and AI for their specific use case. To us, this is democratization is something near and dear to our hearts, as you can see. There are three ways in which Dataiku helps democratize your journey. First of all, we do have that multi-persona platform, which enables visual and programmatic tooling that coexists side by side for any type of tooling, for any type of people, no matter the skill set, no matter the education. We do have a guided interface with plenty of built-in helpers and guardrails that for things you have previously done don't need to be redone again. So you can build on the work of others. You can reuse what has already been used, be it in your team or be it across different teams. And finally, developing and delivering applications that take advantage of both traditional ML and LLMs, and that can be created by analysts and domain experts in their business units. Let's have a look at how one of our clients did democratize access to data. You all probably know Merck. Merck is a leader in biopharma research, in supply, in manufacturing, and collective efforts from various departments, regions, and teams are pivotal to maintaining their high quality. So while digitization, while the continuous medical advances are helping them to meet their higher stakeholder and patient demands, it is also creating a lot of data. The additional data, of course, is relevant to create new products, make better decisions, make better day-to-day, but also strategic decisions. So Merck's key challenge was to enable both process, people, and technology at scale and speed to be able to achieve the enterprise-grade data democratization they were looking for. They focused on 4 key areas to make that happen, which were all supported by Dataiku. First and foremost, data accessibility. So the ability to integrate data from various sources across the entire enterprise with, and that's important, minimal dependency on IT. Secondly, self-service analytics. So empowering employees with the ability to explore, analyze, and visualize data on their own with minimal support or no support from data experts. Data governance, we have heard about governance and compliance, very key topic. Establishing guidelines, establishing policies, procedures for data management to ensure quality, security, and compliance. And last but not least, the people's aspect, the process aspect. So enablement and training. A comprehensive training and enablement program to onboard employees with the necessary skill sets and the support. What I like about this story, what I like most about this story is that it illustrates how non-experts have been enabled to actually perform tasks they weren't able to do before, 80% of them. And to me, that's true democratization. Next on is acceleration. So overcoming speed hurdles is one of the most fundamental problems or challenges we see our customers face today. To us, acceleration means that someone can come in one day and get started and create value right away. So it means that they waste less time on getting stuck, less time reverse engineering, less time doing repetitive manual tasks. So acceleration also means that projects, pipelines, models can be productionalized and iterated without being completely redone by another team. I can see or count countless examples of where a project was created and was then stuck in the IT backlog and got never deployed, never used. And there are, I guess, countless examples of that you can think of as well, where exactly that happened. If you have 1,000 activities to augment with AI, thinking or taking 12 to 18 months for one project is not going to cut it. So you and the companies we work with need to shift from how many months per project to how many projects per month. And again, there's one number that's telling: 90% of data science projects never make it into production. That doesn't necessarily have to be a machine learning model or LLM model. It can also be just a data pipeline, right? Not making it into production means you don't create value. You basically did all that work for nothing. And if you look at that MLOps lifecycle, you can see why. There are a lot of ways where, or a lot of spots where you can think about disalignment, discontinuity, disconnection. And we want to bridge that gap. We want to make sure that this is a smooth process. So again, 3 ways of helping you accelerate your AI or analytics journey. First, we have a dedicated hosted SaaS offering. That means that your users can log in, connect to their data, building flows in minutes, no infrastructure, no configuration required. Secondly, and I already talked about that, reusing. So imagine having an off-the-shelf project, complete with an end-user application, with a dashboard for use cases like process mining, fraud detection, demand forecasting, predictive maintenance, and so forth. Our library of pre-built solutions and industry solutions, so that's domains and industries, are essentially a plug-and-play solution. You can plug in your own data, but it allows for customization, adaptation to your context as well. So it will get you started in minutes. And finally, I mentioned it, the end-to-end nature of our platform. So you skip the pain and time of stitching together different components. Think of all the different tools you have in your tool stack and stitching them together, making them connect to one another, making them talk to one another. With Dataiku, this is all built in natively. From data accessing, over model creation, over model monitoring. All of this natively in one platform. Again, let's have a quick look at a customer of ours who accelerated their data-driven product ideas. In this case, it's Unilever. I think you all know Unilever. They have actually 400 or over 400 brands in 190 countries. So there are a lot of category and regional nuances to their innovation process. Because of this, each business group and unit has a unique set of challenges that need to be addressed and addressed during the innovation and product development lifecycle. So this means there's a huge opportunity for automation. There's a huge opportunity for making data-driven decisions. In fact, the goal was to be 100% based on data when employing their innovation process. So in order to accomplish this and combat all the challenges that are associated with this, the consumer and market insight team was tasked with creating an automated end-to-end idea spotting, screening, and sizing solution. So it moved from early trend detection to validate concepts, resulting in product driven purely by consumer insights, purely by consumer wants and needs. And that all in a fully automated manner. So the solution had to accommodate the nuances of each of the markets and brands, of course, and allowing all the business people to interact with that solution. So the entire end-to-end cycle was built into Dataiku, again, from collecting the data to wrangling the data, which, by the way, included 7 billion ratings and reviews, 2 billion data points of consumer searches, and a ton of social media data. So to building out that machine learning model and actually bring it into production. So today, and that's, I think, an incredible number, rather than assessing 100 new product ideas in 8 months, so 100 product ideas in 8 months, they are now assessing 500 million product ideas in the span of 4 to 14 days. So from 100 to 500 million. I think this is incredible. Last but not least, trust. So you cannot scale the use of data, enhanced or advanced analytics, and AI if the people who work with the data, who work with the models, and the people who consume the output don't trust it. There are a couple of themes we typically hear from clients, right? For instance, how do I prevent cost and resource explosion when I deploy models? How do I balance governance, risk, compliance with speed and agility? And also, how do I be ready, or how am I ready for current and future regulation? We already mentioned the EAI Act. Some are in favor, some are not. There's the current trilogue. Again, the question is, where do I start regulating? Is it on the level of the model, or is it on the application layer? All to be seen. But in any case, organizations need to be ready for the upcoming regulation. And by the way, there's a study, a huge study made supporting the EAI Act. And they estimated the cost of compliance and governance at 17% of the total use case costs. So imagine almost 1/5 of building your use case, so that's technology and people, is actually compliance and governance costs. We believe with Dataiku you can drive that down significantly. Again, 3 ways of doing this. Not surprisingly, this comes down to people. Your teams will develop trust when they share the same workspace and everyone can see what the other person is actually doing, when and where users do work with data, what they do on the data, including the design process as well as the productionalization. So those who have worked with Dataiku know our centralized flow. That means that both data and business professionals can collaborate on the same project in the same environment with all the steps visually documented and transparent and actually traceable. So practically speaking, this means that no more projects or work are scattered around Excel files or code notebooks on people's laptops, right? Company shared drives or wherever, maybe in GitHub. You don't have that. You have it all in one project pipeline as one single source of truth. No more guessing of IT operators, of how the data engineer, how the data scientist tweaked, transformed, deployed a certain model, what iteration of that model is actually being used. And then rich model explainability gives you the help to demystify basically what's going on under the hood, so what's going on in the black box. And Kurt talked about it, we do have a central watchtower, a watchtower where you can see who is working on what projects have been deployed, and also what projects, what use cases, what models are using what amount of compute and from where. Again, I brought a client example. This is the Royal Bank of Canada. They have about 100,000 employees, both full-time and part-time. They do have over 17 million customers across North America and about 30 other countries. Their internal audit team monitors key risk indicators. Right now, they are monitoring over 1,200. They collect, analyze, and aggregate them from sources throughout the entire enterprise. When they began the initiative, they started with fewer than 10 of these and were evaluating against them. When they had 10, it was pretty easy, but when they started scaling their projects, it was soon not feasible anymore. They had so much work to do on checks and balances, they actually missed out on their original work on their original projects. So to effectively monitor the quality of the incoming data, they build a solution that leverages Dataiku's built-in metrics and checks module and combines it with a Python data quality check code. And together, they streamlined the data intake and the total refresh process. They are now able to capture data issues and address them before they have an impact downstream. So overall, they went from not even imagining being able to trace and track against 1,200 KRIs to actually doing this day in, day out. So not imagining this, coming from 10, now they are doing day in, day out 1,200. So if you look at these 3 dimensions or pillars, it might feel a bit paradoxical because in a sense they are all pulling into different directions. For example, the more specialized tooling you provide to your data and technology teams, the more you might alienate business experts who may be or feel even further away from the process. And the more types of people who are armed with data analytics tools, the less you might trust the quality of what they are actually doing. And the more you want to ensure trustworthiness, the less agility, the less experimentation you might have. I think all of this is true if you look at this in a separate way. It becomes actually a support process and working and onboarding on one another if you think about this holistically. So instead of tensions that paralyze your organization, you can actually harness that energy of the combination and become, as you can see here, a flywheel. So if you've ever taken spinning classes, you know the first revolutions are pretty hard, very hard indeed. Resistance is hard. No one ever said that change was easy, and we see that change at our customers. But through steady, purposeful iterations, once you get that heavy lifting starting, you are actually starting from a higher place. You become much faster, and you become much more resilient. And we are already at the climb. With Gen AI, and we heard it, we are all in a climb right now. So we need the base momentum to more than ever to get started. But we know that by having these 3 pillars in place, we can actually start from a higher place and get to value fast and navigate the upcoming market turbulences and navigate the complexity that we are all envisioning right now. So with that, thank you very much. We are very much thrilled to have you as our customers, and we are enjoying the ride together. So thank you very much again.